Hello my Whoop friends. This is a little interim project of mine because a Whoop friend inspired me. He gave me the link to this LED on AliExpress and showed me a video of his HD0 build. And in short, I couldn't sleep anymore afterwards. I had to build that too. The nice thing about it is that the LEDs are cheap and can be powered directly with 3 to 5 volts. So ideal for our 1S Whoops. The LED weighs 0.4 gram and is therefore light enough to build onto our Whoops. I think it's the same LED as the Whoop headlights from Tinywhoop.com. For my American friends, I would recommend to buy the LED from Tinywhoop.com. The LED is available in warm white or cold white light temperature. After the first tests, which I also posted in my YouTube community, I decided to choose the cold white LED. I have the feeling that with this I can see the details in the surroundings a little better in combination with the Tinywhoop cam. I wired the LED with thin enameled wire from tinywhoop.com. As you can see here, with this version 1 assembly method of the LED, a small light shield between the cam and the LED was necessary. Otherwise there will be too much scattered light shining into the cam. I attached the LED with E6000 glue from tinywhoop.com. You can also use Pore glue or another sticky gummy glue. With the version 2 mounting method, I mounted the LED on the front of the frame by cutting a bit of high-density foam. As it turned out, this assembly version is not robust enough. But more on that later in the conclusion of the test flights. I used E6000 glue again as glue, and to protect the thin enameled wire and the edges of the LED, a little bit of B7000 glue. By the way, the red tail lights are the LEDs that are already on the Happy Model Diamond F4 board. And because I don't have a LiPo holder at the bottom of the frame, on this frame, these red LEDs are ideal as red rear lights. So in theory, everything looks good. Let's start the second test flights. And as you can see, the picture is different. Somehow the light is different. To be honest, I don't know exactly why. Maybe I didn't fly as close to the gates that day because it was a little windy. Maybe there was a bit of fog in the air during the version 1 test flight. I have the feeling that the light was not as strong as with the mounting method version 1. Maybe the scattered light from version 1 changed the light sensitivity of the camera. I will speculate about this again later in the conclusion. But first I'll do a test flight on the indoor racetrack, as you can see in the next chapter of this video. In any case, racing in absolute darkness with headlights on a Tinywhoop is definitely possible, as long as the gates are not too far apart and you know the racetrack or the flight area well. So there are limits. Unfortunately, I didn't have complete darkness on the indoor racetrack. There was a light that I couldn't turn off. In addition, the room was full of vehicles with reflectors on them. Of course, that gave me some support in my orientation, but I still have the feeling that racing in complete darkness is possible with this LED, as long as you have already flown the racetrack in the light and if you know the track very well. Of course, you are slower and it's kinda exhausting, I can tell you that. You have to concentrate even more than in daylight, which of course was to be expected. But it is definitely fun and it was a new experience for me. Above all, I imagine doing a night whoop race with friends or a 24-hour whoop race. A stronger LED would of course be desirable, or even two different ones. So to speak, a headlight for long distances and a more extensive light for close range. Just like headlights and low beams on a car. So there is still potential for improvements. The question is also which whoop I make my final night race whoop. I'm leaning towards a Beta FPV 75 Pro. This whoop has a long flight time. Stay tuned for my final night race whoop, my friends. The conclusion of my first night flights with my Tinywhoop is the following. I think racing in complete darkness should be possible. Reflectors or reflector tape could also serve as a support for orientation in the darkness. The gates could be covered with reflective tape, or for example, old bicycle tires with reflective strips could be used as gates. You can see them very well, as you can clearly see in one place of the video. Ideal for a night whoop would be a whoop that has a long flight time and where the voltage stays above 3.5 volt for a long time. Because below 3.5 volt this LED lights up significantly weaker. You have to take that into account. I don't know my preferred LED mounting method yet. I don't really like the form factor of this LED. A more compact LED would be more ideal. Maybe more rectangular so that the LED can be placed further inside the frame so that it is better protected. As it turned out, the LED has a rubbery coating which is unfortunately a bit soft. An impact should not go directly into the front of the LED. If any of you can find a better LED, please let me know in the comments. It would also be ideal to place an LED for headlights in the canopy under the camera and a second one for the low beam between the ducts. If I place an LED at the front between the ducts, then only with 3D printed holders made of TPU, so that the LED holder is stronger but still has the same flexibility as the high density foam I used. This means that the LED is protected a little better in the event of an impact if the holder can give away. Unfortunately, the high density foam I used here wasn't strong enough and tore apart on one side in a hard crash. Even though there is still room for improvement, I am very satisfied with these first test flights. I don't know yet whether I'll continue pursuing this project, but somehow I would be up for it. To be honest, I also hope that one of you will be inspired by me and improve my idea, so that I have a little less to do and can concentrate more on the tutorials for you. Unfortunately, something cool always comes up and distracts me from working on the tutorials. But I am still working on it, and my big goal is to pass on all my Whoop knowledge to you, so that you have less work and can start with the best of the best right from the start. And so you don't have to make the same mistakes as me. Please also note the other videos on my channel, and if you want to show me that I should continue and you like my content, then you can subscribe to the channel, activate the bell and like the video. I would also be happy to receive a comment from you. Stay tuned for my next projects and tutorials. Happy flying, my Whoop friends!